Let's do this. Look, I fell in love with the movie written and directed by Edgar Wright. The movie is basically about a guy named Scott Pilgrim who's simping for a where am I? Who am I? Who are... So yeah, as stated before, it's about Scott Pilgrim. It all started way back in '04 with Scott Pilgrim's Precious Little Life, the one that started it all. And we actually... What the hell was that? Did you guys see that? And that is all to say that the original story does go back and lead into personal growth through the lens of someone who plays a lot of video games. That is what we see, a lot of video game imagery. And you'll see in the screenplay also take beats from that. Personal growth, or however simplified as we went over, while also taking story beats and a lot of sort of visual flair in video games. We see all the automatopoeia, also, again, continuing to be based on the graphic novels. Well, with all this video game talk, where is it? There had to be one somewhere down the line, right? Well, for those of you that stayed after the credits, there's a special little treat. Once the music has died down, and all the credits has rolled past, you'll get a glimpse of something special and what the future may hold. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World the game was released way back along with the movie back in 2010. Check it, if this game had a crazy development of just 5 months, and you know how these things go, right? You have the movie tie-in game to tie in with the actual movie being usually forced and crunched up within the production when the movie started, along with its final release date. And it's all super rushed, super bad, super buggy, and sort of just a cash grab. You know, just one big blatant ad. Just another video game based on the movie, trying to capitalize off the media of the movie, well. This time developed, however, by Ubisoft Montreal, fresh off the coattails of Assassin's Creed 2. And with the help of Ubisoft Canggu, let's see what they had to manage to pump out this time. What is it this time? Oh, come on! So, look at this, right? This game came out 12 years ago, actually. And 8 of those years, it was not available to the public for purchase. Or to play, really. At least traditionally. It was locked away for purposes not exactly clear. Theories arise from licensing issues to distribution rights being mingled in there. All around, the short and simple of it, if you didn't have access to an Xbox or PlayStation 3 at the time it came out, or had an Xbox or PlayStation 3 that already had it, there wasn't a way to legitimately play the game. Legitimately. That was until 2021, in which the game finally got released to its former glory in the form of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game, the Complete Edition. It comes with all the DLC, all of the previous mentioned DLC, and a few little bonuses, upscales, downscales, you know, all the tweaks and requirements making it a proper traditional modern port. That is all to say to be a part of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World's 10th anniversary, and that is for the movie specifically, not the actual IP itself. So with that all said and done, let's jump right into it. whoa, it's beautiful. One would think because it's a movie tie-in game, it would follow the movie's plot. Well, that's not exactly the case. It actually has its own flavor of the story. It takes beats from the movie and the original visual novel that inspired it. You know, it has the same characters and situations, yet it adds and puts its own personal spin and flair to it. I read somewhere online that Brian Lee O'Malley wanted to set each adapted version of the story apart, but not quite the same story each time. Similar to how each version of the media should take advantage of that medium to fully set it apart from the rest, but not exactly have its own identity. And he has kept his promise thus far, making slight deviations from the story from each passing medium it gets developed to. Honestly, all this is making me crave more hope for the animated series that he has in store in the future. The game's a beat-em-up type of game. You know, the ones where you beat up an entire world's population all for one purpose, usually your own, and that is to usually save a loved one. I mean, how many lives are at stake here just for one person? Must be pretty damn special. I don't know what is more fun than beating everyone up in your way with a friend. With up to 4 players to join the fray, this is 2 more than the standard. Although, for how entertaining the game is, it is still bogged down by the limitations of the genre. The nature of these games, the side-scrolling, punching, kicking, waves and waves of enemies, it gets kinda tiresome and repetitive at times. The levels, especially later on, seem to drag on longer than you were expecting. And there are 7 total levels in the game. I would say 1 per Evil X, but I'd be mistaken because 2 of them are actually a package deal, and you fight them together. Every level does, however, have its own identity, taking place in iconic locations such as the Chaos Theater, and sometimes very wacky, out-there locations such as the Ninja-infested garden, which does sparse up the level diversity and doesn't make every level seem congruent with each other, which I do appreciate. The timeless beat-em-up genre also for some reason has a half-assed RPG element to it. You could level up and gain a few more moves, and inside every level there is a nice shop to, shop at, where you could buy healing items such as food, stat increases, buffs, you get the point, the whole shebang is there. However, the trope first started way back in River City Ransom, which is interesting, and has been a staple of the genre since. It is a necessity to buy things on the account of how difficult it is. Alright, fine, I'm gonna level with you guys. I don't have any friends to play this on with. Not at the time, I have no one that's really interested, and there's no online co-op play. At least for the Switch edition. Oh my god. Because of that, I don't really know if the game is actually as hard as I encountered it to be, or if it's not meant for single player play. Well, anyway, who knows what really is the case. The only thing I got was a snap back to reality when I had to switch back to medium difficulty. I died many times during the first level. And because the levels just keep going and going and going, each level is longer than the last, and they just go on and on and on, just a gauntlet of enemies to go through. All the way to just go through the very end and die to the boss just like that. And sometimes it gets frustrating just to have to sit there, do it all, and then die to the boss, only to go back to the very beginning where you came from. But in the end, I did it. All alone, oh my god! As far as beat-em-ups go, I'd say it checks off all the boxes for a good time. In the end, did the game warrant a re-release? Yes, it sure did, I'm glad to say that. As an avid gamer myself, I advocately believe that no game should be locked away due to time preservation, or because of some stingy or iffy little licensing issues or distribution rights, or anything like that. We should reserve things, or try to reserve them for preservation of the future generation. Can you imagine a game like this, so beautiful, so captivating, so simplistically back to the golden ages of beat-em-ups, and a solid contender might I add, be locked away because of something like that? Imagine future generations never being able to just truly get at why Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game, is a good one. Not to mention the beautifully, wonderfully composed soundtrack that all just make this game and set it a new standard above what the rest should be, that is for movie tie-in games and regular beat-em-ups. It defined both the odds and tangled the status quo and made it its own, completely getting it out of its way and releasing with little to no problem, really. It truly is a testament to its passion. Let's take a hand to applaud the folks at Ubisoft for making this game possible, for truly going above the Call of Duty and releasing this game. It's great to see this game see the light of day once again and let it shine upon a grateful universe. Until next time, bye-bye.